Hello everyone, today's lecture is about coherence and unity in writing. For the writing to be coherent means related to each other, and unified means that the sentences are linked together and not separated and not irrelevant to each other. يعني coherence يعني ترابط، unity وحدة، يعني إنه الكتابة تكون مترابطة. The sentences are related together and the writing as a whole is unified كوحدة واحدة. So that you do not feel، عشان ما نحسش إنه the sentences are separate، إنه كل جملة لوحدها ملهاش علاقة بقية الكتابة بقية الessay. Coherence is the most important writing skills. Your writing should be coherent، مترابطة. And to write a coherent writing, you should use words that links your writing together. Words that links your writing together. يعني إيه؟ يعني like signposts، زي إشارات كده للreader to where you're going. بتقول للreader إحنا رايحين فين. Before giving an example, you give words like showing your reader that you're giving example, that you are going to give an example, like for example, for instance, an example of this is demonstrated when. All these are words to show example, and this is to show your reader that you are going to give an example. This is what we call coherence. ترابط. So you link your writing together through certain words, through coherence markers. This is very important, and in the following part we are going to see some important coherence markers. Most important coherence markers that you need to know are addition coherence markers. بنحتاج دايما ان احنا نضيف كلام، نضيف معلومة. you usually use and repeat and over and over again, and this is not correct. What you are required to use other than and، يعني استخدم and بس do not repeat it so much. What you can use also in place of and, you can use moreover, furthermore, in addition to this, additionally, also. طبعا كل ده we put a full stop and then we start a new sentence and we put comma after this coherence word. So we say moreover, then we put comma. We say furthermore and we put a comma. There are coherence words for results. Consequently, بالتالي, therefore, لهذا, thus, accordingly, بناء على كل اللي فات ده, so, and this is less formal than the ones that I have just mentioned. There are coherence words for giving reasons. We usually use because, but there are other ones due to the fact that, and this is followed by a whole sentence, owing to the fact that, and it is also followed by a complete sentence, because of, and this is followed by a noun or a gerund. He didn't get high marks because of his absence. لكن if we use because he was absent for many times, a complete sentence, due to the fact that he used to be absent in lectures, owing to the fact that he is usually absent, as he was absent. لكن because of his absence. Okay, فبرضو كل اللي عندكم دي are ways to give reasons. There are also ways to that are used in comparisons، في المقارنات غالبا. To show similarity and dissimilarity. Similarity التشابه و dissimilarity الاختلاف. So both and alike, in common. in common هنا معناها مشترك يعني. طيب وكل الحاجات اللي عندكم. This similarity is very important because we need it every now and then. Whereas معناها بينما where is the same use, while unlike on the other hand conversely على العكس من كده. In contrast to this is very important. In contrast to this يعني على عكس كده بقى however ومع ذلك, and this is very important and it is very frequently used. On the contrary على العكس من كده. فكل دول حاجات بيبدأ بعدها on the other hand, conversely, in contrast to this, however, on the contrary. الحاجات دي تحديدا بتبدأ من جملة جديدة and then we follow them by an apostrophe and then we start the second part of our sentence. Also, you need to know some division and partitioning words. If you need to say that your topic will be divided into 3 points, so what words will you use? If you need to mention that this point is made up of 3 points or of 2 dimensions or so what are the words that you will use? مهم إننا نستخدم كلمات للتقسيم. طبعا مهم جدا زي ما قلنا أصلا it's important for the essay as a whole to write every point separately in a separate paragraph if you're writing an essay. لو حضرتك بتكتب essay يبقى قلنا مهم جدا ان كل فكرة تنقسم في paragraph لوحدها. عشان اقول كده مهم قوي ان انا اقسم الافكار دي بالdivision words المناسبة علشان الريدر so that the reader do not يعني get mixed up عشان الريدر ما يتلخبطش. فأقول له firstly, secondly, thirdly، أولا، ثانيا، ثالثا. ده اللي هيخليه يبقى متابع تسلسل النقط، والطريقة اللي حضرتك تبدأ بيها هي اللي تكمل بيها. يعني بدأت first يبقى بعد كده first, second, third. أحيانا ممكن مش شرط هنا أقول بس firstly, secondly, thirdly كده، ممكن أقول initially يعني بداية أولا، secondly, thirdly، واجي عند آخر نقطة وأقول إيه finally وأخيرا نقطة كذا، following this وبعدين وبعد كده. فكل دي طرق لتقسيم الموضوعات والبوينتس والاليمنتس اللي في موضوع حضرتك. طبعا ده مهم جدا جدا for the organization اللي بتاخدوا عليه يعني مجموعة من الدرجات في الأساي. كمان partitioning زي made up of، إن أنا أقول الموضوع مكون من كذا، مشكلة كذا مكونة من كذا عنصر. consist of يتكون من comprise of composed of divided into، كل دي بمعنى واحد اللي هو مكون من أو ينقسم إلى. Here we'll talk about words that show different ideas زي إيه although, despite, in spite of the fact that. كلهم معنى واحد بس في grammatical differences. although بيجي بعدها جملة كاملة. يعني although he was sick he came to the exam، على الرغم من ان هو he was ill he was sick، كوما لازم كده. اي جملة مكونة من جزئين بعد الجزء الاول بعمل كوما وذن ببدأ الجزء التاني. although he was sick comma he came to the exam. despite his illness، هنا بقى بيجي اسم in spite of his illness كمان. فهنا despite in spite of يجي ing form أو يعني اسم noun لكن although جملة كاملة. although ممكن تيجي في النص كمان، يعني he came to the exam although he was ill. خلاص. in spite of the fact that كمان دي بيجي وراها جملة in spite of the fact that he was ill he came to the exam. كمان illustration definition. This is another يعني another type of coherence words or coherence markers. Words that show illustration or show more details بتقول يعني شرح بمعنى this means يعني كلمة بمعنى this means، يبقى حضرتك مثلا بتشرح موضوع عايز توضحه اكتر، فزي ما تقول كده بالعربي ايه بمعنى كذا، فدي this means. in other words بعبارة اخرى that is to say بمعنى برضو. طبعا كمان في اختصار لده اللي هو this means IE معناها كده this means. namely مختلفة شوية. namely يعني لما اقول مثلا انه في سببين لانتشار مشكلة كذا namely واقولهم على طول. يعني مثلا لو انت شايف انه في suicide مثلا، موضوع عن اسباب السويسايد، اسباب committing suicide الانتحار مثلا، فبتقول انه there are two reasons، انت شايف كده انه بس في two reasons namely psychological reasons and economic reasons. اسباب نفسيه، اسباب ايه يعني economic اقتصاديه. فيبقى namely معناها اللي هم كذا وكذا طبعا، او اكتر من كده، او اي عدد من النقط اللي بتقول عليه. Then we'll talk now about unity. Is your writing unified? This is another important point in writing an essay. When you plan an essay، لما تعمل plan لessay، you of course you have ideas, and these ideas about a certain subject are يعني should be written down in your essay. But sometimes we go farther than the topic. يعني أحيانا we put unnecessary information. But we should check that every point you mention is related to the subject of the essay. If you have any irrelevant topics, any irrelevant ideas or points, you should يعني cross them out على طول، تشيلهم من البلان بتاعت الاساي بتاعتك. You should when you have checked that every point you mention is relevant, you can be sure that your essay is unified، بأنه يكون كل الجمل relevant، ليها علاقة بالheadline اللي حضرتك مطلوب منك تكتب عنه. خلاص كده يبقى ده اسمه انه your writing is unified. اي حاجة زي ده وغير مطلوبة ومش relevant، مش متعلقة بالموضوع، you should cross it out. كمان it should يعني refer to the topic. It should support, it should do something new to the topic. لازم انها بتساعد على تطوير التوبيك، انها بتضيف اضافة ما to help supporting the core of the topic. One of the very important rules in writing essay or in writing formal academic writing is avoid repetition. يعني تجنب التكرار. Always you will be writing about one topic، صح؟ دايما انت بتكتب عن topic معينة، وده بيخلي انه نفس الكلمة ممكن تتكرر، نفس الحاجة ممكن تبقى محتاج تقولها over and over again. So you should find any other way to repeat the same word so that the reader not get bored. فايه الطريقة اللي اكرر بيها نفس الكلمة اللي هي مثلا موضوع الاساي بس without being يعني repetitive؟ ايه بقى واحد من الطرق هو استخدام السينونيم، المرادفات. يعني مثلا لو الموضوع عن انه طرق تحقيق الاهداف مثلا، فهتحتاج تستخدم كلمة هدف كتير، اهداف كتير، بس instead of using the same word you need to use synonyms. يعني كلمة هدف دي في حد ذاتها ليها more than one meaning. يعني ممكن تستخدم aim، ممكن goal، ممكن objective، target، كل دول معناهم هدف. So this is one way to avoid repetition is to use synonyms. Style means that you need a certain type of formality, a certain type of يعني your language should be high elevated, not everyday language, not down to earth language. In speaking, you use different levels of formality according to the situation and the person you're addressing. يعني تستخدم مستويات مختلفة من الرسمية في الكلام وفقا للموقف وللشخص اللي بتكلمه. when you are talking to a friend you use يعني down to earth language, you use language مش متكلفة, لغة بسيطة, as opposed to the language that you use if you are speaking to a minister or to the president. This is different, huh? So similarly, the same with writing, we use different levels of formality, and when we are writing academic writing, we need a formal style. We need to write in a formal style, يعني style الكتابة يكون رسمي and not down to earth or everyday language.